The night that it happened, November 6th, our family is calling it as when Canada woke up the world because um, we knew that if we lost the Supreme Court of Canada hearing our decision, like hearing our case, that they were probably going to take action. Nobody in the world could have thought that they would have taken the action in the way that they did. And the way they did was barbaric. We have had supporters here for months, and they've been such amazing support to the farm, but for fighting for preservation of life. And these prehistoric, amazing animals, they were on the highway. So we have a back road where our farm is and between our home and our animals. And they went up on the highway. Where we were spending most of the day. That's where we were watching them corral our healthy ostriches into a big kill pen of hay. And the RCMP, with no notice, blocked off access to the road to get back for those supporters to come back to their campers, their motorhomes, and for safety. So they locked our supporters up on the highway. Um, our family, we were outside and had no notice that gunfire was going to open, and not just one or two, we're talking 900 gunshots. We're going to ring through the night. And we were going to be caught outside listening to our animals and listening to these hired marksmen that they call themselves from Canadian Food Inspection Agency. They didn't give us warning to go to our homes, and maybe we would want to come and be together as a family and pray or turn on our TV so we didn't have to listen. We got caught outside listening to the gunfire ring all through the night. And our animals were domesticated, beautiful, sentient beings of 35 years old and 20s. And they had fear, they had feelings, and they trusted humans. And the RCMP and the Canadian Food Inspection Agency um, brought together an act that will never be forgotten in Canadian history.
Now, the claim that the marksman came back the next morning because the ostriches were not dead, that is a claim that's actually been denied by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. Your thoughts?
The lie. One thing that the Canadian Food Inspection Agency has done really well over 11 months, it's lie. We have proof of that over and over again. Their updates on their government website that have been nothing but lies, and we've been very accurate, very fast to do a rebuttal to the responses online. They did, and we have multiple. I heard the gunshots myself because I went to go leave the house in the morning and step outside, and I heard gunshots myself, and I started screaming, and I said, "Are they not done yet? Are they not done yet?" And so that's a complete lie. There is so many inaccuracies and so many things that they did wrong here, that the one thing that they did was bring war onto a family and animals in the middle of a beautiful, pristine valley that was peaceful. So again, we were fighting for 11 months for the ability to test them. Why can't we test them? And we would have paid for the tests. The NIH and the FDA, the Trump administration, offered to test them. They offered collaboration and said that they saw that these animals offered significant opportunity on a global scale for possibility to mitigate viruses and disease, and that they were way more value alive than they were to be euthanized.
What was your family's reaction to the Supreme Court shooting down your final appeal, Katie?
Whew. um, we just went numb. I think we're feeling numb now. We made it to the highest level of government within 11 months. But the problem was that they were only looking at the December 31st decision to kill. They were not looking at the 300 plus days of survival, of health, of the opportunity, of these animals that were doing so well and that they had been in our family for 35 years. They had names.
But can I ask you something? What would you say to those who said that the feeling was justified, the culling was justified following the outbreak of the avian flu on your farm that killed a number of ostriches last December?
Yeah. It was unjustified. It was the most barbaric action of humankind. Anybody, they lied on their website and said that the ostriches were going to be held down. There was going to be three CFIA representatives and a veterinarian, and that they were going to be put to rest and humanely. There is no marksman on this planet that would be so good that they would be able to shoot for the head of an ostrich running 45 miles per hour for their life in a square, pet in a square, tripping over one another. It was the most inhumane action that has been witnessed, and that is rippling across the world. And I pray, and our family prays that this creates change because this didn't just affect us. Um, we have people calling in that have been crying for days, some that are going to see a doctor because of what they witnessed and heard online.
You mentioned earlier off camera how you and your family have been suffering through PTSD through this right now. Will you be financially compensated for each bird? And what's next for you and your family?
No, we will not be. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency made it clear because we were not complying with killing them. February 1st was a day that they wanted us to have them killed by our own hands and us to go bury them back in our hayfield. And we said no. We stood up for their life because we said these animals that are healthy have never been tested. So they said because we're in non-compliance that they will not compensate us.
Katie Passadney, daughter of one of the co-owners of the Universal Ostrich Farms in Edgewood, BC, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.